Hey guys, this is Crowbar Zero, and I'm here today with Greeny. I'm going to be starting a
Hi.
new series where basically I'm interviewing and talking to players in the community. Kind of what, and I guess I'll just go ahead and introduce yourself, Greeny.
Yeah, so I'm Greeny. I started playing the game a year and a half ago, I think. And I think I've improved pretty fast, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right now in the top 50. Sometimes a little bit higher. Sorry for the coughing there. Um, And I don't even know where to start with some of these, but since this is kind of the first time that I think both of us are doing this, uh,
hmm
but yeah, you've made it up to the top 50, which is actually really freaking awesome. But like going back, how did you actually find out about the game? Get started with the game?
So I used to play a lot of mobile games, and I found Idle Planet Miner just because I wanted to play something. Because I was like, I used to like mobile games a lot, and I was like, what else? What other games does texture games make? And I found the Tower, and I was pretty much instantly hooked. It was like, I don't know, I just enjoyed it so much. And I haven't not stopped since then. Pretty much, I'm just kept going. So that's pretty much
Okay.
how I started. Yeah.
And then, so I know everyone has like different reasons for playing the tower. I know some players purely play for the memes, like the pushing,
hmm
extreme labs and like starting cash to like people who are very very competitive. Like, what kind of keeps you playing in the game and keeps you engaged?
I really like just the improvement and like theory crafting with like what you can do in the game because there's just so many things you can do. There's so many different things you can do with just what is given to you. It's really fun like figuring out what's the most optimal for me.
Yeah, and that definitely changes like even between like patches within a version. Like
Yeah.
it can swing from like, oh, this is the meta to like, oh, hey, this is something completely different. And also from tournament to tournament. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. I think it's like some of the top 10 guys. They respect their workshop between every single tournament,
Yeah.
which is
I
just
I did that for like a month and it was tough. It's a lot of
yeah,
gems.
yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm too lazy for
Yeah,
that.
I am now as well.
But yeah, so you kind of mentioned the part where it's been steadily improving. What parts do you feel like the game could improve on?
I think there's still just a lot of bugs that have been in the game for a while that can be fixed. Just like the frame rate things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just like random glitches that just don't really, I don't know, they don't really make sense. And also like strategies that like involve you reducing a certain stat. I think that's not really what FUD's intended for the game. I don't think.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think I remember seeing something at one point where that was completely like a lot of the meta is actually like completely a player creation or a player
yeah.
base. Um, like none of that as far as like Devo or building hit points like we're doing currently for like
Mm,
hybrid or effective hit point builds. He never envisioned any of that.
yeah.
So yeah, absolutely right on that. Yeah, and you mentioned the frame rate thing. I'm finding that some people are earning like 50% more coins than I
Yeah.
am.
Yep.
Just because they're hitting that 120 FPS box, which is it's not actually allowing 120 FPS. It's just unlocks it. So whatever your
yeah.
device can push, it'll push that. And that's how a lot of people are just raking in like so many more coins than like somebody of like an equivalent build too.
Hmm.
So that was something that I learned about recently. But yeah, what are like some of the strengths and weaknesses of your tower? Because I know
I think
everyone's so different in their builds.
yeah, I think my main strength is probably my CC, my crowd control. Um, I just have a lot. I have a lot. I have my black hole's completely maxed. Um, I have 9 inner landmines. My poison swamp is almost maxed. Besides damage. Yeah. My weaknesses probably. This is a harder one. There's like maybe my economy, maybe my modules, like a little bit of both. I think the main one would be like maybe my defensive stats. Because I haven't really been working on them that much. I think I should have been working on them for a lot longer. Like since it like health got good again. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Even though I've been playing for quite a long time, I'm feeling a little bit of that too.
Hmm.
Because I got into the game, and by the time that I hit like the really competitive part of tournament is about the time when I think maybe it was like a month or two that I was really going heavy on the effective hit point stuff, and then the meta started to change. I think that's about when we got like spotlight. So everything
Yeah.
I was going through that change of trying to transition to glass cannon, and now I'm looking back and I'm like, oh man, this hurts.
Yeah.
But and for anyone that's watching, definitely follow Greeny. We're going to be doing a versus video every month, or roughly around there. Probably going to bounce it between our channels and
Yeah.
see how we're each of us are making progress, what direction we're taking, even though we're like both about the same spot as far as like tournament rankings. Um, our towers are going to be completely different, which is I think is really cool and kind of wild too. So
Yeah.
yeah, um, I know I make a lot of mistakes, like a
Yeah.
lot of mistakes all the time. I'm human, I'm perfect, and I'm not a hardcore number crunching guy. I kind of look at my tower and I see like, oh, I feel like I have this weakness here, and I need to focus my labs on being able to boost these other things to make up for that. What are like your common mistakes, either through like how you're leveling stuff up or just like the daily
Um.
whatever?
Yeah. I think my main mistake. It kind of goes back to my one of my weaknesses in the last question, which
Yeah,
would be like health. Um. Like so, I didn't know how it was gonna like how good health was gonna be. Like when it came out in February, when it like got revamped pretty much.
yeah,
I kind of just like pushed it off, just pushed off all my like defensive stats because I thought maybe maybe it would get nerfed, but it never did, and I never really like considered like labbing health or like defense, right?
yeah.
So I think if I would have done that earlier, no, that would help me a lot. Just labbing some of those.
And then I think my biggest mistakes recently were actually in the realm of, well, I guess most generally, like mine would probably be a little bit more on the flavor of not changing target priorities
Hmm.
or switching my range lab between, minimal for farming to, like they usually pop it up to like 25 or so for a
Yeah,
tournament. And I forget about that all the time.
yeah,
Or switching my bots even. Like, those are just. It seems
yeah.
like it's a weekly thing that I forget to do. Um, sorry, I'm talking about myself. I'm
That's fine.
trying to interview. um, I think part of my brain's in that mindset of like, oh yeah, we're gonna record this next video right after this. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, free to play or whale? And why do you end up
I th-
going there?
I think I would be considered like a dolphin. I'm
Okay.
not sure the exact terminology. I just buy the stone packs and the event boosts. I don't really buy gems at all.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's I don't know what exactly a dolphin is, but I don't know if that's it. So I've bought
Probably
very few
this.
gems.
Actually, so talking about gems, do you ever hit the tab joys
No,
up? Okay.
I tried them like when I started playing, but I don't know. The rewards didn't seem that good for the smaller ones. And like I did one for like 120 gems, and it took like 3 days. I didn't grind it for 3 days, but it was still like
Yeah.
like 4 hours of playtime at least.
Yeah.
It was not worth it.
Yes. And the reason why I ask that is a lot of people will say, they'll have their budget for their tap joys, outside of the
Hmm.
tower, and then when the tap joy weekends come around, they'll slap down a big amount of money so that they can
Yeah,
get this huge stockpile of gems. A little bit
yeah,
better return on investment than buying from the actual game shop, but
yeah,
I guess
yeah. The bigger tab joys are they're pretty good if you do the 2x weekend with it.
yeah,
That gives a lot of gems.
yeah, it does. But yeah, thanks for the interview. Is there anything else that you would want to mention? Like, yeah,
I don't think so. Yeah, thank you for interviewing me.
yeah. And I plan on doing this for a few other players, especially like people that play the game very, very differently than most, or maybe like some of the mods. We'll
Hmm.
see how they bite on that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, and for everyone that's watching, thanks for sticking around, and I will catch you guys later.